the channel, I'm a Motorsport Madman, and this is qualifying ahead of the 2025 Spanish Grand Prix. If you're new to the channel, if you're a Formula 1 fan, get yourself subscribed. I'm live for every single qualifying, every single Grand Prix from the Formula 1 World Championship, provided that my PC doesn't blow up. So if the stream does end abruptly today, I am dealing with, as Loz knows, I am dealing with some severe overheated issues with the PC at the moment, so there's not a lot I can do about it. I've got a fan going, blowing straight into the computer hardware, and hopefully that'll get us through the next hour. But yeah, it needs to go to a PC specialist. So if the stream all of a sudden just ends randomly, I'm not going to give it a second attempt. It is what it is. If it dies, it dies. If it survives, it survives. If you're in the Viewers' Championship or you're not, I'd get in now. Because if it dies, I don't even know if I'm going to bother attempting the race tomorrow. We'll see. If it dies today, it's GG's for the Spanish Grand Prix. They'll be back for Canada in a couple of weeks. But if it survives today, I'll give tomorrow a go. But yeah, I'm not having a good time of it, Dan. I'm not having a good time of it. I've got the PC's fucked and my car's fucked. So I've got an expensive few weeks coming up. Car's blown up. PC blown up. Brilliant, isn't it? So yeah, I'm having a shit time of it. How are you lot doing? But yes, Kim, welcome in. Barry's in. Ernesto, Mitch, Lisa. How are we doing? Dean says hello. Yeah, right, Dean. Loz is in. Beth's in. Sugar in tank. Comes in threes. Fucking hell, what's number 3? Jesus Christ. I don't need a third. I don't need a third thing, Dan. 2's enough. No, I think with the car, I think it's pretty simple. I think Bert has taken a load of the piping out to do whatever he's done, and he's not put the metal clip to secure one of the pipes back on. So the pipe is not as tight as it should be, and so antifreeze squirting all over the gaff. I think a little metal clip that's probably on the side in the workshop somewhere. It's probably just a 10-second thing. Well, I'm hoping. So it's a 10-second thing. Bert goes, puts a little metal clip on the pipe, and we're all good. If it's not that, mate, I'm just going to scrap it. It's not worth the effort. It's not worth the effort. It's getting scrapped anyway, sooner or later. I'll just fast track it. Game over. If it's not that. Your hair's going to fall out. My hair's already falling out. Maybe that's the third one. You know what I mean? That's why I'm wearing a cap every week. My hair's already on its way. Yes, Lewis, how are we doing? We'll count that as a third. Hair falling out. Car problems. Computer problems. We'll see if we get through this stream. I try as well. I bought F125, didn't I? Because I put the post on the channel. I don't know if you've seen. Like, I've got an idea of maybe doing F125. Mate, my PC cannot handle that. 1,600 quid PC as well. It's not like I'm running some 100 quid Argos crap. This is like, well, 18 months ago, it was a high-end PC. Things move on quick. It's not high-end now, but it's still decent, right? It's still a decent computer. Mate, fire up F125, dead. Alright, we'll reboot, we'll have another go. Last 5 minutes, boom, dead, crash, freezes. Honestly, my idea of running F125 series on here, forget it, basically. The PC can't handle it. I don't know what's going on. I need to take it to some sort of specialist or something, but it can barely, maybe it'll just about survive doing a live stream on here. Maybe it can just about survive Streamlabs, but any serious game or any serious, you put it through any serious taxing situation, the PC will go, I don't fancy it, mate. So that's where we're at. So yeah, F125, never. It's crap anyway. I did a few laps. It's crap anyway. It's designed for kids. Do you know what I mean? I play iRacing. You can't. You're not telling me the people that play iRacing and then get F125. No chance. Once you're on iRacing, unfortunately, nothing else comes close. Once you're an iRacing kid, there ain't no going back. You know what I mean? It's like probably flying first class. If you fly first class, are you going to go back economy your next holiday? You're probably not, are you? Do you know what I mean? Once you've experienced the good life, fuck F1 games, mate. Terrible. So yeah, it was an idea. It was an idea, but PC can't handle it and it's crap anyway. So forget it. Yeah, get your wig on. Yeah, not on here, Lewis. I keep my other persona where it belongs, not on the public eye. So you meant number 3, yeah? Take it to VW Audi. Takes 2 seconds to fit the clip. It's a Lexus, an old man's car. I'm rocking with an old man Lexus, mate. Not only is it an old man's car, it's a fucking old car as well. Can't be affording a new Lexus, can I? It's nearly a classic. What did you miss? You missed nothing. Qualifying's about to start. Right about now, I'm expecting a McLaren 1-2. If you're not expecting a McLaren 1-2, you might be a bit deluded today. But as I say, this is the vibe for 25. Anything other than a McLaren 1-2 is a win for me. I'm not here for domination unless Antonelli fancies winning the next 15 races. I'm not here for domination. So I will take Verstappen sticking his nose in and having a look all day. By default, I've become a bit of a Max Verstappen supporter this season. Just by the fact that I don't want McLaren 1-2s every week has made me a bit of a McLaren, a bit of a Verstappen. I hope he's in the fight, basically. But yeah, how's PC doing heat-wise? I don't know. Got a fan going in there. Got the window open. We'll pray. But if the stream dies, I'll see you for Canada. It gives me 2 weeks to sort the issue out as well then. Gives me 2 weeks. If we get through today's, I'll attempt tomorrow's. If we get through tomorrow's, I'll attempt Viewers' Championship. And if we get through that, well, we're in dreamland. But the other day, do you know, I've been lucky that so far this PC overheating issue has not affected one of these streams yet. But I tried to do a Viewers' Championship race last week. It took 3 attempts. So it's only a matter of time before one of these just dies midstream. It's a matter of time. It might be today, it might not, but I'm not having a good time of it, put it that way. As is the norm these days, I've not seen much of practice, which is it's kind of become how I like to roll with it actually, because if you analyse 3 hours of practice, it's a bit of a spoiler. That's how I'm seeing it anyway. You know what I mean? If I analyse long run pace in FP2 and find out that McLaren is 7/10 quicker a lap than anybody else, it'd probably take the sting out of the race for me because I already know there's going to be a McLaren 1-2. Even though I already know it's probably going to be a McLaren 1-2, I haven't seen any practice, so I'm hoping that it's not, but I think it will be. We'll see. We'll see. Go on, Max. Stick a lap in, will you? Make it interesting this season, please. Right, Q1 is underway. Let's go. It'd be interesting to see how this new... they've stiffened up the front wings, so I wonder if that'll change the running order. I expect not much. I expect they've overdone that story. I wonder if someone would be really disadvantaged by this tightening up of the front wing flexing. I don't think so. We'll see. I don't think it's affected McLaren's pace, has it? Really, that's what I'm looking for. If it affects McLaren's pace, this new anti-flex front wing situation, then we've got a season on our hands. But if they survive it without any detriment, then it doesn't really matter, does it? Yes, Gav. How we doing, bro? It's not a bad season for you, is it, Gav? Williams, best of the rest, doing a brilliant job. Both drivers now, because it started out the season, Albon was there, Sainz was struggling a bit. Now Sainz is there, you know, 5th and 6th, 7th and, you know what I mean, 6th and 7th, 5th and 6th. They're doing well, they're doing bits, Williams. Big ups to him. I like James Vowles as well, I'll probably say that every week, but I like James Vowles as a team principal as well. I think they go in places, Williams. Yeah, the days of Williams being P19 and 20 on the grid are over, thank God. They've been in the doldrums for couple of decades, but they're on the way back up, and I'm here for it. Well, Nico Rosberg, who is incidentally the only driver that I actively disliked, is on commentary duty, and he's saying that George Russell favourite for P3 behind the McLarens. Where's Antonelli then? Oh, and Antonelli P3, never mind a George Russell. Kimi had a disappointing Monaco. Yeah, listen. It's going to be ups and downs. You know what I mean? That's part and parcel of supporting a rookie. It's going to be ups and downs. It's not going to be P16 to P4 every week, is it? You know what I mean? There's going to be a few crashes, spins, disappointments, retirements. But I'm hoping for one win. I'm hoping for one win. Just one magical weekend where everything works out and McLaren blow an engine, or, you know, and he'll need a bit of luck. You know, maybe Mercedes turn up all of a sudden and they look quick at one particular track, and then he has a bit of luck. And then Verstappen hits Piastri, and then we'll have, you know, then he might get a cheeky win. That's what I'm at. I said at the beginning, and I stand by it now. I'll take one win. One win this season from Antonelli, and I will be at peace with that. Then we go again for 26. You can't see Monaco stream, but oh no, I didn't stay on. I didn't even start it, Gav. I didn't even bother with Monaco. If I'm still doing this next year as well, which, you know what I mean, then I won't do Monaco. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, when Denver says he won't do Man City because it's so boring, so he just like writes them off like, whatever Man City game, I don't care, I'm not doing it. That's me and Monaco. It's been stricken off. Unless there's a massive change and they go, right, we're doing a new layout and the circuit's twice as wide, but I can't watch along my way through Monaco. Nobody can watch along the way through Monaco. No chance. So I put some live timings on the screen. Watched it for about 20 minutes. I put the live timings on and went live because to give a fair chance of people getting in the Viewers Championship, so people could type in, people could say hello. But I last about 20 minutes, half an hour, and then I was like, right, that's about enough, innit? I'm going back to bed. I'm going for an afternoon siesta, and that was it. Monaco is absolutely dead. Absolutely dead. It's that bad. I don't even know what they're going to do. There needs to be some serious meetings behind the scenes here, because Monaco needs a serious looking at. Hulkenberg's quickest. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that as a grid right now. Hulkenberg, Stroll, Albon. I'll take that, actually. Lawson goes fastest. I'll still take that as a grid. Go on, Antonelli. Go quickest just for now. Just to, you know what I mean? Just to go, wow, get a jab in. Norris is 7/10 up through the first few sectors. Oh, mate. If Antonelli goes quickest here, it's only for about 7 seconds. Go on, Antonelli. He's quickest. 1:13.3. It's not going to last. It's going to be like by a second, this. Half a second, all right. Where's George Russell? Coming around the last couple of corners. Yeah, Canada in a couple of weeks is a good one, yeah. Wow, that's very close, actually. George Russell, 7 thousandths of a second behind Lando Norris. So George Russell is in the fight here, hopefully. Antonelli half a second off. No, he's not getting pole today, is he? But Russell might be in the fight. He's quick. That's a good sign. Cheers, Salty Dog Bro. How we doing? Good to see you about. And Piastri beats Norris by 2.5 tenths. So Piastri from Norris, Russell and Albon slots into P4 then. Half a second off there. Hadjar 7 tenths off. Antonelli 8 tenths off. And Gasly, Lawson 9 tenths. Hulkenberg 9.5. Sainz a second off in P10. Tsunoda P12, 1.3 seconds off as Alonso goes P5. Okay, not bad. Not bad. What can Hamilton do in the Ferrari? P6, 7 tenths off. Okay. Not disastrous, but not great either. Where's Leclerc going to fit in? P4. Half a second off. Not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. That Ferrari slot into 4th and 6th. Colapinto goes P9 in the Alpine. I've got you some bad news, Gav. So about that, Gav. The PC can't deal with it. The PC can't do it. I'm struggling with the PC, hence the message here. I'm struggling with the PC seriously overheating itself. I've got issues. Me and myself, we got issues. It's got issues, and I fired up. It took me about 8 reboots of the computer just to get the game started. And then once I did about half a lap, and then it froze again. Then I managed to get a couple of laps in. Yeah, it can't do it. It can't do it. So I need to get the computer down to one of these, final boss nerds. I need a nerd final boss who can work his magic. Because I'm not tech savvy at all. I ain't got a clue. I don't know the difference between a motherboard and a graphics card. I ain't got a clue, mate. So I need to take it to someone who has got a clue and who goes, yeah, it's because this and this and this. I'm going to do this and this and this, and we're game on. But yeah, no. So imagine it trying to run the game and streaming it at the same time. Not a hope in hell. Not a hope in hell. The only reason it can run iRacing is because iRacing is effectively like a 20-year-old game. It's like PS2 graphics. That's the only reason it can even run iRacing. Because it's old technology. But a modern game, forget it. Have an international morning. Stop by Yemeni shop to buy a 6-pack Moosey Lemon Mint from France. Now watching stream across the pond will go. That comment's thrown me. I can't make head and tail of that. I have no idea what a Yemeni shop is. Oh yeah, a shop that's Yemen, Middle East. What? What's Yemeni? What's traditionally Yemenis? Moosey Lemon Mint from France. Jesus Christ. Can you play on PS5 or Xbox? I can play it on the Xbox with this. Yeah. I'm going for the lead. Nah, man. I want to do it on that, innit? If you're going to do it properly. It sat there with all this sim equipment. Sat there with sim equipment that's worth more than my car and playing it like this. Nah, man. I'm sorry to let you down, Gav. I should have made sure the PC could run the game before I put that post up that it might be a series. That's my fault. I've led you on. But once I get it sorted out, it just needs a new fan, or it's probably... Because like I said, it's not like the PC's shit. The PC was high-end like 18 months ago. Like, it's a... You know what I mean? It's a decent PC. It's a proper gaming PC. But it's just got a problem. So, it's not that it's like, you know, some shit PC and it just can't run games. It's just that it's got an issue that needs solving. And then it should be able... What about said you're going live due to the video series? Okay, it won't even play the game at the minute. Once I get it sorted out, then I'll do it. I can't even play the game at the moment. I managed to get a few laps the other night, but when you're used to iRacing as well, it's not very rewarding to drive anyway. You just go where the Google box tells you to go to buy a craving. Go on. Get to that Yemeni shop, eh? Yemeni. Never. They don't have them over here, I tell you that. Right, 2 minutes 20 seconds to go. In Q1, in the bottom 5 at the moment, and under pressure, it's Hulkenberg, Ocon, Sainz, Tsunoda, and Gabriel Bortoleto. If Tsunoda gets knocked out in Q1, that's just embarrassing. Tsunoda can't get knocked out in Q1. You can't. Antonelli needs a lap as well, down in P12. That's under pressure, that. Hulkenberg's got 8th. Now, that really changes the picture. Big time. Bortoletto's 7th right now. Now we're in a situation where anybody can be eliminated here from P7 down. We're now in a situation where anyone from P7 down can be eliminated here. Nobody is safe. Well, unless you Piastri, Verstappen, Norris, they're safe. But Bortoletto going 7th is madness. And Antonelli goes P5 and had to be safe. Antonelli be safe with that. Hadjar goes P10. Bortoletto's put in a lap there. I wonder if Bortoletto might get through with that. I would have thought Bortoletto would get through now. If he still gets knocked out, that's savage. Gasly goes 9. Bortoletto be through here. It's got to be now. Is this the afternoon that Bortoletto arrives in Formula 1? Is this the Bortoletto moment that I've been on the quiet waiting for? I feel like it might be. Here comes Sainz across the line then. P13. Not good enough for Carlos Sainz. He's in serious danger of being eliminated in Q1 after that. Where are the rest of the runners then? We've got Liam Lawson coming around the final sector. So bottom 5 then with 10 seconds to go plus whatever lap you're on. So Hamilton goes P9, but the bottom 5 is Colapinto, Stroll, Lawson, Ocon, Tsunoda. Here comes Liam Lawson then to the line, P18 at the moment, bang, P7. Oh, God. Oh, and there's an Alpine out. You're going to be end of session here. Who's out of the car here? Colapinto or Gasly? They didn't even say. Are we just supposed to know? Where is he parked it? Ocon's 15th. That's, it's not going to be good enough. don't even know who's out, but one of the Alpines is out. Behrman goes 11th. He'll be through with that, surely. Oh, Hulkenberg, Hadjar and Ocon are in trouble here. I'm telling you. But Tsunoda has to get through. Tsunoda has to get through. You have to get through it. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Oh, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing from Yuki Tsunoda. He's dead last. Stone dead last, Yuki Tsunoda. That's embarrassing. That's terrible. That's awful. It must have been Colapinto that broke down as well. That's awful from Yuki Tsunoda. Absolutely tragic. No, that's terrible from Yuki Tsunoda. Stone dead last in a Red Bull Racing weapon. That's tragic. And Hulkenberg is knocked out in P16. Ocon knocked out 17th. Very disappointing as well for Carlos Sainz being knocked out in 18th. Colapinto must have been the one that broke down. So he's out in 19th. And Yuki Tsunoda, absolutely tragic that is. That's awful. Awful. P20. Do you know, how many, is this his 6th race now, Tsunoda? 6th race weekend. You have to be starting to get it together now. You know what I mean? First 2 or 3 races, all right, it's a brand new car to you. I wasn't even looking for Yuki Tsunoda in the timing boards in, like, you know, China, Japan, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia. I'm not even bothered. You do you. You've got to learn the car. There ain't no criticism coming your way for the first 3 or 4 races. Now, you 6, 7 races in. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's embarrassing. You can't be stone dead last when Max Verstappen's fighting for pole position. Listen, if the Red Bull was just awful, Verstappen's 15th. It is what it is. But Verstappen fighting for pole, and you're stone dead last. They've got a serious problem on their hands, Red Bull. They've got a serious problem on their hands. They thought it was bad with Perez. It wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't bad with Perez. I wonder if history will look back on Perez's Red Bull career and go, do you know what? He actually did a solid job. Yes, Ryan Tune, bro. How we doing? You curse science, sir. If you think I've got that kind of power, you are deluded. Why should Tsunoda perform any different to any other poor sod? Why should Tsunoda perform any different to any other poor sod? But they're not poor sods, are they? They're supposed to be the best drivers in the world. Why is he a poor sod? He should be one of the best drivers in the world. You're in Formula One. You shouldn't be a poor sod. You've got to do better than that. You know, no one's beating Max Verstappen in the second Red Bull. Nobody in the world. But you've got to be closer than that. You can't have Verstappen fighting for pole and you're last. I said you had to get through Q1 there. You can't be eliminated in Q1 in that second Red Bull. I don't even mind, even if he's P12 on the grid, P9 on the grid, around that mid-pack, that's enough just to get your feet under the table. He's not doing fantastic, but all right, he's P12, he's P11, he's P9 on a good day. But you've got to be touching that top 10 to be stone dead last. It's too much. It's too much. You can't have a free pass. You know what I mean? You can't have a Ruben Amorim free pass, mate. You can't. Wouldn't be surprised to see Perez drive Cadillac for a year. Yeah, maybe even more than that. I think Perez will be one of those drivers. I think Perez will be one of the Cadillac drivers next season. Perez, maybe they'll try and prize someone out of IndyCar. I'd like to see that. That's not something that I've seen done since I've been watching the last like 20 years. I don't think, because Alex Rossi went the other way. I can't remember Formula One pulling a star driver out of IndyCar in recent memory. You know, maybe they did in the 70s and 80s or whatever, but in the last 20 years, I don't remember it. But I think Cadillac might have a look at doing that. I don't know. I don't know how IndyCar and their fan base and their whole management and everything will look at that. I don't think they'd be too keen on that actually, because say they got like a star driver. Let's say, for example, like Alex Palou or a big name in IndyCar or a big prospect, and then they put him in the Formula One scene. He didn't do very well. Is that then got a tarnishing the Indy brand, the IndyCar brand a little bit? Because it's like, well, they're not up to the level. But then it has the opposite effect though. If they do drag a star driver from IndyCar and stick him in a Formula One car and he's rapid, then that opens up a whole whirlwind of questions. Then, oh, you know what I mean? That could really start opening the floodgates. So I don't know. I think it'd be a bit of a gamble, but I think that's something that Cadillac will look at. Perez, the experience in one car, and an American driver. I mean, maybe not Alex Palou because he's Spanish anyway, I think. So, do you know what I mean? I can see him doing that. Have you had your CPU thermal paste? That is something that Loz said as well. So that's definitely something I will look at. No, I haven't, but that might be the next port of call because I've done a few little like troubleshooting things. I've made sure I'm on the latest updates or whatever. I've updated the NVIDIA app, so I'm on the latest software or whatever that is. I've done 4 or 5 like the basic things. You know, do this. Step 1, step 2, step 3. You know what I mean? I've done the first 3 or 4 little bits that you can do by clicking a few buttons. The next protocol probably is this thermal paste thing that you're on about, and yeah, that's probably where it's heading. So why is it different, Yuki? Yoon said when Lawson's in the car, it's settled for Max. Fuck the teammate. Yeah, and that's the baseline issue. That's the baseline issue. But what I'm saying, Gav, is even taking that into account, which it is a fact that the car is set up for Max and because Max is world champion, obviously they've got to do that. Even with all that taken into account, you still have to do better than this. You can't be dead last. And they've got a serious problem. They've got a serious problem. I don't really know what they do. You know what I mean? I don't have a solution. I don't have a solution. I don't know what they do. Because you can't compromise the car to make it easier to drive for the second driver. You can't do that. Because then you're going to hamper Verstappen. At the end of the day, Verstappen's the one that's getting you the results. You have to bend to what Verstappen wants. And then you have to find another driver that can deal with that car. And maybe you just have to keep rotating it and get all the criticism that you're going to get from all the media and all the mental health experts going, oh, well, you can't chuck him in for 2 races and drop him. And you'd have to just be in the management. You go, well, yeah, we fucking can and that's what we will do. That's what, it's going to be brutal. But I'd almost say, right, try Adjar for a couple of races. If you can't, swap it back. I don't know. I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do. Do you try and get Perez back for the second half of the season just for some solidarity, just for some consistency? Do you say, listen, just do a job for us. Here's a payout. Yuki can't drive it. Liam can't drive it. If Hadjar can't drive it, come back for half a season. Lindblad for 26. I don't know what you do. They're in a serious mess. They're in a serious mess. All they can do, the best scenario for Red Bull is to pray that it works out for Yuki Tsunoda and help him all they can. Get the prayer books out. Help him all you can. And pray that it starts to come his way, because if not, this merry-go-round has to continue. What are you going to do? You're going to have Yuki Tsunoda finishing P20 every week. Until when? Until when? I don't think has he scored, what, has he got a top 10 finish yet? Yuki Tsunoda maybe like scraped a P9 or something like that. It's just not sustainable. Javino Race IndyCar going to F1. Oh, he's the last one, right? So that's what's that? Mid-90s. Yeah, it's before I was watching, yeah. Just be extremely careful with it. One slip and the motherboard is cooked. Whoa! I've got a little USB fan. I've got that. No, I think what's happening, Mitch, is it's getting to a certain temperature and then there's like a safeguard thing that just, like the PC just freezes basically, which it must be like a safeguard thing where if it gets to a certain temperature the PC goes, yeah, nah, shut down. So that's what's happening. So I'm bouncing off the safeguard feature of the overheating, which is not good. They need to find a driver, the same driving skills. Yeah, this is what they need. They need a Max Verstappen clone program going on. Right, we'll start to look at the times in Q2 then. Verstappen's quickest on a 1 minute 12.358. Pierre Gasly, second at the minute. Here comes Lando Norris, then purple, middle sector, and across the line. Can he beat them all? And does, by 0.3 of a second. Norris goes top on a 1 minute 12 flat. Verstappen on a 1 minute 12.3. Gasly 1:12.6. Hadjar 1:12.9. Then Bortoletto 13 flat. Lawson 13.1. Albon 13.1. Alonso does a 12.5. Half a second off the pace and slots into P3. Here come the Ferraris then. It's going to be Leclerc first across the line. P3, 12.4. 4/10 off the pace for Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. And Lewis Hamilton will be coming around the final corner now to complete his lap and goes P3. So beats Leclerc by 0.5 of a second. Ferraris go third and fourth. Early days Q2. Here comes Piastri and goes quickest by 1/10. Not even that. 0.5 of a second quicker than his McLaren teammate. So it is now a McLaren 1-2. As is the situation in 2025. Antonelli only P8, a 1 minute 12.7. Not good enough for Kimi Antonelli, that. And Russell across the line, P4. Russell's got the pace. I think it's going to be Verstappen versus Russell for third on the grid. And then whichever way around the McLaren boys fancy it at the top. You know what I mean? Probably, I'd say 50-50 Piastri Norris pole positions and 50-50. And then you're looking at Verstappen, Russell, either one of them two, third and fourth on the grid. Verstappen, Russell, probably either which way around. Again, probably 50-50. Then probably the Ferrari boys behind that. Then Antonelli with Alonso and Gasly, and yeah. I just hope Antonelli gets into Q3, really. I don't want to see Antonelli knocked out in Q2. It's not a good weekend. But yeah, you're right about the Jacques Villeneuve thing. That's mid-90s. Use liquid metal on... Use the liquid metal type on yours. How much is one of them? I've heard about these liquid cooled thingies. I need some sort of an update. I need some sort of an upgrade. Is that rain on the horizon? Tell me about rain. I can see rain on the horizon. Bring on a bit of a downpour for Q3. I don't think there's any rain forecast, but there is some rain not far away from this circuit, put it that way. Did Yuki go for a pit start to the points in this car? Did he? I think he did actually, yeah. So yeah, so what's going on now? You know, I was hoping and thinking that Yuki Tsunoda, alright, it's going to be a bit of a slow start, but he's just going to gather it together and it's going to be this gradual improvement. This gradual improvement throughout the season, and then you probably get... I was sort of thinking by the time you get to this summer block of races where you're getting like Canada, Austria, Britain, Hungary, Belgium, that block, I thought then he's going to be in the mix then, in the top 10, you know. But it's sort of going... Why is it going backwards? That's what's catching me off guard, and that's why I'm so disappointed with Yuki Tsunoda, because it seems to be going backwards now. It can't be going backwards. It makes it even more of a what a head scratch it is. You know, like you said, he has had a couple of good races where he's come from the pit lane, ended up with a cheeky P10 or P9 or something. So then you're thinking, all right, he's not going to win a Grand Prix, but it's not going to be embarrassing. It's going to be okay, and he's going to gather it together, and the momentum's going to grow over the season. And we get into the second half of the season, and he's there or thereabouts. And we signed the contract for 26. We've found a decent driver. He can drive the car. You know what I mean? And they could all breathe out and sigh relief and all that. But to do it for a couple of races, and then a result like this, bang, P20. Like, oh God, like, why? We don't need this P20 situation. This is awful. The thing is as well, right, is that Red Bull are in this massive fight for second in constructors as well. Obviously McLaren have walk it. You might as well crown them now. But Mercedes, Ferrari and Red Bull are pretty much neck and neck in the Constructors' Championship as it stands right now. But Red Bull will be fourth in Constructors. They will be fourth in Constructors. Whereas they could be second in Constructors with a second driver that's getting some points. And that's going to hurt them financially in a massive way. In a massive way. I don't know what the figures are, but it's like being in the Champions League and not being in the Champions League. You know what I mean? You're talking serious money for not being in, for not getting the potential spot that you could. You know, the difference between second and fourth prize money payouts. Tens of millions. And that's what's going to cost them. And I don't know what the solution is. Listen, I might be here on a rant and a rave, but I don't have a solution. I was hoping just as much as they were that Tsunoda was going to be the answer. Nobody's the answer. And it's so bad. Mate, I'm gutted for him. Nobody's the answer, bro. Give me a race. Stick Gavin. Gavin, you do a job. You can't do any worse than that, can you? P20. Well, you can't qualify P21, can you? Jesus. But then the thing is, right, you've got Hadjar, but then do you even put him in? Because then that could tarnish his reputation. So probably leave Hadjar be. Anyway, final laps Q2. Under pressure and in the elimination zone, Bortoleto, Lawson, Albon, Stroll, Behrman as it stands. So here we go then. This is to get through to Q3 and the pole position shootout. Stroll across the line. P14 improves to P12. It's not going to be enough. Stroll's going to be knocked out in Q2. But what can Antonelli do? Please. He's P9 at the minute. Needs to improve. You could do with finding 2 or 3 tenths. Go on, Kimi. Ooh, P8. That's going to be on the bubble. He might be knocked out with that. Antonelli might be knocked out with that. P8. Almost 6 tenths off the pace, but obviously it depends what the guys behind do. Depends. Listen, 3 drives will have to improve a lot. It might happen. Albon improves, but only to P10, which makes me think Antonelli might be safe. Antonelli might be safe. Bortoleto 11th and out in Q2, so Antonelli should be safe at this point. Then you're not going to get about 4 drivers improved by over half a second here, are you? He should be through. Where's Hadjar going to slot in? Go on. Bang, P6. Hadjar's rapid. Hadjar's been the best rookie of the season. I'm willing to say that. I'm willing to admit that. Hadjar's been brilliant. And it's P6 and easily through to Q3. Lawson 13th and out. So Lawson out, Bortoleto out, Stroll out. I don't know if Behrman or Albon are on a lap. Behrman is on a lap. Cut to him now. Into the final sector he comes. So Behrman needs to improve by a massive amount, by a second. It's a tall order, but I want to see him do it because Antonelli still be through anyway, no matter what Behrman does here. But go on then. Oh no, it was too much of an ask. Behrman out in 15th, Stroll out in P14, Lawson out P13, Bortoleto out P12, and I think Alex Albon out as well in P11. So Gasly through to pole position shootout. Antonelli survives in P9 and is through. Alonso through in P8. Leclerc through in P7. Hadjar split the Ferraris in the end. P6 and in Q3 with margin to spare. Fantastic from Isaac Hadjar. Hamilton P5, Russell's 4, then Verstappen and the 2 McLarens at the front. No bother, mate. No bother, Johnny. I'm glad Antonelli survived that one. That was a bit touch and go for a minute there. It's a car making him go backwards in the RB. It is a car, yeah. It's definitely the car. So what did he do? He's flying, yeah, I know. But you've got to be able to drive that Red Bull. They need to find someone who can drive it, man. You might as well just run one car. Do you think Red Bull should have gone for Sainz? I think they only were willing to offer Sainz a 1-year deal or something. I don't know. But then it might wreck it. It might have wrecked his career. I don't know. Maybe for Sainz, it's the right decision. I think it's a massive gamble. Say you're a young up and coming driver, especially if you're in the Red Bull family like Isaac Hadjar or is he called Ivan Lindblad? You're not going to say no, are you? But it's a gamble to be in that second Red Bull because, like, look what's happened to Liam Lawson. He's got the opportunity. He's obviously gone for it. You know, turn it down. Obviously not. But then he's backfired massively within a month. He's back in the B team. I don't know what they do from here, really. They've just got to stick with Yuki and pray. They've just got to stick with Yuki and pray. He can't be qualifying last on the grid, though. You could put also in that car and he would still finish above 50. Who's also? Maybe nobody can drive it. Maybe it's as simple as this. As long as Verstappen is driving for Red Bull, there will be no second driver that can get anywhere near. You know what I mean? Maybe the driving style is so unique and so in a world of its own in regards to setup and everything else that nobody. The reality is that until Verstappen leaves the team and they can start going in a different direction, car development wise, this is just what it's going to be. And so then they maybe they just accept that and go, right, well, let's just go drivers' championship then. The thing is, the constructors' championship where the money is. You can't do that, really. You can't just write it off and go, right, sod it then, we're a one-car team. Whoever fancies to go in the second one, yeah, swap them every race. Have a blast, mate. With Verstappen, with Team Verstappen. But then you're missing out. Oh, get rid of Verstappen is the only answer that they've got. It's doing them more detriment, but it's not doing them more detriment. They're winning championships. I'm an argument with myself because I'm an argument with myself because I have not got the solution. Get rid of Verstappen and go for the constructors' championship. I don't know. They're too far down the rabbit hole now. They're too far down the rabbit hole. They're just praying at this point that you can be able to drive it. Imagine they try and put Hadjar in and Hadjar says, nah, I don't want it. Imagine that. Imagine you go, right, Isaac, come on, you've done well. You've had a great start to the season. We've got you the big promotion, mate. We've got you the big seat. He goes, oh, have you? I don't want to do it. I'm not doing it. I'm happy here. Imagine what they do then. I mean, he's contractually obliged to go wherever they put him. Imagine he doesn't want it. I reckon that's a serious... they might hit that rock before they want to. Hadjar says no, imagine. So they sack him. So he goes to another team. Replaces Stroll at Aston. Oh well, there you go. That second Red Bull seat is, yeah. Gasly, Albon, Perez, Lawson, Tsunoda. Yeah. Mad, innit? I was trying to think if you'd forgotten anyone. I was going to say Danny Kvyat, but Danny Kvyat was previous. And Danny Ricciardo left of his own accord. And that was before it was a Verstappen car. That was when it was more of a car that was a normal drive. Now they're so far down the rabbit hole. Right, we're going to get Q3 underway in a minute. Russell will be a good fit for the second Red Bull. He's not bothered about Max, but that won't happen. Nah. I think Mercedes and McLaren will probably have the same driver lineups for the next like 5 years. I'd have thought, because they'll try and develop Antonelli, unless Antonelli's a real letdown, which hopefully is not. I think they'll try and like nurse him through and stick with Antonelli if it's showing signs of promise, and then Russell probably stay as long as it's relatively competitive. And McLaren have got the best driver lineup. I don't see any of them moving unless there's a massive fallout between the two drivers. I can't see them moving. I think McLaren and Mercedes are set for the next 5-7 years, to be honest. Yes, catch you tomorrow, Kim. Well, the stream survived nearly the full hour, so hopefully it doesn't cut out now, because that'd be devastating. But as we are right now, should be on tomorrow. I'll try and be on about 1:30 tomorrow, because it gives people a chance to get in the stream before the race starts. I feel like a lot of people miss the start, because I go live and then like 3 minutes later it's like, and away we go, lap 1. So if I go live 20 minutes, half an hour before, you know what I mean, gives people a few minutes to get in before we get the lap 1 shouting situation. I love a lap 1. But I feel like I'm going live a bit too close to the start of the race. You know what I mean? By the time I've said hello and a big welcome to the channel, 3, 2, 1, go! I mean, it's a bit. So I'll try and go live a bit earlier. Get people through the door. But yeah, catch you tomorrow, Kim. Right, Q3 underway. Piastri, purple sector 1, because he's first man out there. So if he wasn't fastest of anybody, with no one else setting a time, I would be worried. Again, as is my vibe for 2025. Anything other than McLaren 1-2, I shake your hand and I call it a good deal. So let's see if we can get that. But I feel like that might be a long shot. And I'm saying it's 50-50 between Piastri and Norris, which at least, do you know what I mean? At least the two McLaren boys are evenly matched. Piastri done it 1:11.8 and sets Norris away on his lap. How far behind's Antonelli? A second. Are you at 1.1? Oh, no chance. Antonelli 1.1 off the pace of the McLaren. Russell has got a massive advantage over Antonelli round here today. Verstappen does a 12.3, half a second off, but Russell's only 2/10 off pole, and Antonelli's 1.1. The gap between Russell and Antonelli this weekend's the biggest I've seen it, and the biggest by a long shot as well. I don't know the figures, but I reckon Russell probably outqualifies Antonelli on a typical weekend. Maybe by a couple of tenths, 2, 3 tenths, 4 tenths at a push. This is like 8 tenths. That's a massive gap. Antonelli's, it's not his track, is it? I'm hoping Canada will be, because he's starting to get where it's 3 in a row where it's not really looking too good. You know what I mean? We don't want 5 in a row where it's not looking good. And Norris does 11.819. 2/100ths of a second between the McLarens at the front. Well, fair enough. It might be a McLaren 1-2, but it's going to be close between the pair of them, at least. At least that in 2025. At least that. So Norris on provisional pole of 1:11.819. Piastri P2 at the minute. 1:11.836. The margins are tiny. George Russell 2/10 off it. Verstappen a 12.3. half a second back. Hamilton 12.4, 6/10 off. Antonelli 1.1. Gasly nowhere. Leclerc, Alonso, Hadjar yet to set lap times. Here comes Leclerc around the final corner, then across the line. 6 minutes 20 seconds to go, and Leclerc goes P4, 3/10 off the pace. Not bad, but not going to be in the fight for pole. But not bad from Charles Leclerc. Not bad. You can't wait for the British Grand Prix. You're going to do something special for that weekend. Yeah, I'm going to be there. Live stream from this track. No, I'm not. It's going to cost £1,000 and I'm on my own. Fancy going, Gav? You know. I can't buy a friend, Gav. Do you know what I mean? The thing is, there might be people that are interested to go, but then, you know, I might say to a mate, oh, come on, let's go. Yeah. How much is it? Do you know what I mean? If you're not that into it, you're not going to pay like 600-700 quid, are you, for a day out? If you're not that into it, you've got to be a hardcore fan. And I don't fancy doing it on my own, do you know what I mean? So, the long and short of it, Gav, is this is what it's going to be for the British Grand Prix, since it's going to be a Union Jack there instead of a Spanish flag. That's it. That's the bottom line hard truth about it. Something special for the British Grand Prix. Yeah, if you can get me some more viewers, Gav, we'll do something special for the British Grand Prix. As it is, I reckon it'd be the same half dozen people. Just a guess, but I reckon. Go on, Fernando. Fernando's the one that's out of sync with the pack here. Watch him slap pole. Home race as well. Go on. Go on, Fernando. I dare you. Do something special. No biggies for the channel? Nah. It was the first time I did it, I think, in 2022. It was. But not since then, no. YouTube haven't pushed me out since 2022. Gutted. Alonso goes 5th. Hey, I'm thoroughly impressed by that. Big ups Fernando Alonso, his home Grand Prix. P5 at the minute. Listen, Verstappen, Hamilton and Antonelli. Antonelli's got work to do. I think Alonso could be ahead of Antonelli on the grid. Verstappen and Hamilton might, with this final gasp, beat Alonso. But I can see Alonso starting 7th, Antonelli 8th, Gasly 9th. Boy, Hadjar's going to slot into that. I don't know. If Hadjar beats Antonelli, Antonelli could be staring down the barrel of a P8 start here. P9 even. P9. Could be Antonelli P9 at the end of this. But Alonso's happy with that. He's waving as if he's got pole position. He's waving to the crowd like he's got pole position, bro. Fair play to him, man. Oh, fair play, Fernando Alonso. Slaps in P5 and he's waving at the crowd like he's just won the World Cup. Do you know what I mean? Brilliant, man. You gotta love it. He's left it all out there. It's P5 for now. I reckon you might drop down to P7, but it's still a good lap, isn't it? It's still probably a fantastic lap. I'll tell you, Robbie. How you think about United selling Bruno for 100 million? Yeah, cash in. I think they've got to, haven't they? Because they missed out on Champions League. They got no money from that. So yeah, sell Bruno in it. Sacrifices must be made, Gav, in these tragic times. Take the money, yeah. How are we, Simon? Welcome into the stream, dude. A stream that I didn't think would survive, actually. The PC, touch wood, has not shut down. It can handle Streamlabs, but it cannot handle anything more than that. But yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you? You're just in time for the fight for pole position here, the final gambits, the final laps. Verstappen's on and out lap. Well, they're all on the out laps, apart from Alonso, who's done his bit. Alonso's done his bid, and it wasn't bad, to be fair. It's the absolute maximum he can get out of that car, let's face it. It's the absolute maximum, that. 4.5 temps off the McLarens in an Aston Martin that he hasn't scored any points in yet is pretty out of this world, actually. So, fair play. All good, mate. Latest was booking. What were you booking? Booking flights? What, flights to Dublin for Leeds via AC in Dublin? Nice one. I'll see you there. Norris is not improving, but Piastri's purple setter. Piastri's on a lap here. Piastri's on a lap. Norris not that fast. Across the line, I don't think he's going to improve, is he? Oh, he does improve. Norris improves to a 1 minute 11.755. So that is the benchmark for Oscar Piastri to beat. Here he comes around the final corner, then Oscar Piastri, and he's pole position by 2 tenths at the moment. That should be pole position. I can't see Russell Leclerc improving by over half a second. It's looking like a Piastri pole position, and Antonelli does improve. A massive 6 tenths of a second improvement for Antonelli. So Antonelli up to P4 on the grid as it stands then. So that's crucial. He was 1.2 seconds off. I can't be having any of that business. Antonelli with a big lap then for P4 at the moment. What can Hamilton do? Across the line, P3. Wow, and it's extremely close between Hamilton, Russell, Antonelli, Leclerc. And where's Verstappen going to slot into this? And Verstappen goes third because there's that big gap between Norris and Hamilton there, and Verstappen slots into it. What can Russell do? Russell might go third. Go on then. Across the line, P4. So Verstappen with exactly the same time as Verstappen, actually. Verstappen and Russell with identical times for third on the grid, but Verstappen said it first, so Verstappen keeps the P3. Wow, identical time for Verstappen and Russell, but it's Piastri on pole position at 1 minute 11.546, gets pole position for the 2025 Spanish Grand Prix. Lando Norris 2 tenths off in P2, then Verstappen and Russell with identical times in P3 to the 1,000th of a second. Verstappen set the lap time first, so we'll start third, then Russell fourth, then Hamilton fifth, Antonelli P6, Leclerc P7, Gasly P8, Hadjar P9, and Alonso did all he could, but they all beat him in the end, and Alonso bumped down to P10. That is the starting grid for the Spanish Grand Prix tomorrow. Piastri, Norris, Verstappen, Russell, Hamilton, Antonelli, Leclerc, Gasly, Hadjar, Alonso. Then it's Albon, Bortoleto, Lawson, Stroll, Behrman, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Sainz, Colapinto, and Tsunoda. Please do join me about 1:30 tomorrow for the Grand Prix itself. Hope you've enjoyed the stream. Now I've been waffling on and that. I feel like half the stream I was just talking about what Red Bull do about that, about Tsunoda not being able to perform. But anyway, it is what it is. I do go on tangents, but when there's something significant happening, you do know about it. The rest of the time, it's a chat and chill situation. Still good for Alonso. Yeah, he's still top 10 in it, but he did get bummed down to P10 in the end. It's good quality for Gasly and Hadjar, that. But it was sort of predictable, which is unfortunate. It was predictable because it did end up McLaren 1-2, and then Verstappen and Russell. I said whichever way around, well, they would end up identical times, Verstappen and Russell. And then Hamilton, Antonelli P6 is not that bad actually. I'll take a P6 for Antonelli. But thank you for being in the stream. Please do drop me a like if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're into Formula 1. I'll be back for the Spanish Grand Prix tomorrow about 1:30 onwards, so we'll do a little bit of a pre-race build. Give people a chance to get into the stream before the race starts. But other than that, thank you all for being in, and obviously everyone who's typed a message in live chat today will be entered into the Viewers' Championship, which should be on Monday night about 10:30. So do join me for that as well. Thanks for watching, and peace out. Join the Spanish Grand Prix tomorrow, 1:30. See you then.